There's always this sense of excitement that I have for Installation Shabbat, for the Shabbat where we install our new officers and Board of Trustee members. And this year I feel that excitement even more because we're not doing it virtually. We actually get to be with one another and celebrate. And one of the reasons why I have such great anticipation and excitement for this night is because on the one hand, we remember our history, the 163 years that have led to this moment. And with it, there's this feeling of rebirth, of renewal, as we bring in the next generation of leaders to continue, not replace, not to change, but to continue the traditions that this synagogue, that this temple stands upon. It warms my heart to look out and see so many past presidents in the congregation with us this evening and how they are smiling with great joy, either because they have the title of past president or because of their excitement with what the next generation brings in. It's this moment of great renewal. And I know as many people are here right now, they're even more at home watching who are being quarantined right now, and we send our thoughts and prayers to you for a quick and speedy recovery as you deal with this virus that's been going around lately. But we are here together in body and spirit. And over the last 2 years, we have learned with great resolve that even when we're physically distant, we're all spiritually connected, which is why we're able to come back 2 years later with great gusto and great strength and great anticipation, have this moment of rebirth and renewal again. So before we continue our service, let's take a moment now to consider where we've been, not just this last year, not just these last 2 years since we were last together to do this, but where our synagogue has been since the mid-1800s, when the first president, officers, and board of trustees got together and declared that this was a holy and sacred place filled with purpose and vision.
Shabbat Shalom. My name is Ina Horn, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to Anshe Emeth Memorial Temple. Thank you for joining us this evening. It's great to see so many people here, and welcome to all of you who are joining us virtually. Tonight, as new leaders are installed and current leaders renew their commitment, let the Shabbat be one where we create the strength of our community and we celebrate the strength of our community. I now invite my husband, Jerry Horn, to the bima as we have the honor of lighting the Shabbat candles and leading the blessings that may be found on pages 2 and 3 in your prayer book. Thank you. Got that, Jerry? Oh, I should say, let me do the blessings first. Get closer to the mic. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech olam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the lights of Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
We continue with Hadodi on pages 20 and 21.
שמעו וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אלי מיוחד, אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי מקור הברכה, מראש מכרם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה. מקדש מלך עיר מלוכה, ומצאי מתוך ההפכה, רב לך שבת בעמק הבכה, והוא יחמול עלייך חמלה. מנערים מעפר קומי, לבשי בגדי תפארתך עמי, עד יד בן ישי בית הלחמי, קרבה אל נפשי גחלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי בעורק ומי אורי, אורי אורי, שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לא תבושי ולא תקמי, מה תשתוכחי ומה תהמי, מה יחסו עניי עמי, ונבנתה עיר על תלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. והיו למשי שושייך ורחקו, כל מבלייך יסיס עלייך אלוהייך, כמסוס חטאת על כלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. ימין ושמאל תפרוסי בית אדוני, תעריצי על יד איש בן פרצי, ונשמחה ונגילה. היי, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה,
We rise in either body or spirit.
שבת נקבלה.
We continue on page 26 with Chatzi Kaddish.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה. בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי בחיי חוד וביומי חוד ובחיי כל בית ישראל בעגלה בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעלמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דאמירן בעלמא ואמרו Amen.
We rise in either body or spirit for the Baruch Hu on page 28. We continue together on the bottom of page 31. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over?
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם, אמת.
Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up, waiting to do your will.
Let the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom. V'haminenu shomreinu lechayim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom. V'haminenu shomreinu lechayim. Hashivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom. V'haminenu shomreinu
Mechakel Chaim Bechesed, Mechaye HaKol Berachim.
צומק נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך במיד ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש כשמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
We continue our Amidah silently with the words on the page or the words of our own hearts through page 63. And you may be seated when you're ready.
for the entirety of the service, as I've been looking out at all of you, I must say something that has been drawing my eyes, and I'm sorry the people online can't see it because the cameras can't turn that way, but what's been standing out to me is the names in the back of our sanctuary and the years that go with them as well, starting with names from 1859, with presidents whose names are up on the board. And it feels as though, as we're worshiping here, we've got these generations of leaders who are watching over our shoulders, encouraging us on, and calling us to do great things, and applauding with great gusto, knowing that this thing they built so long ago in New Brunswick still remains here in New Brunswick. In a moment, I'm going to call up our new officers and incoming trustees, some of whom are being installed for a second term, some of whom are finishing a previous individual's first term, and some of whom are doing another round as an officer. This year, as some of you might remember, in a previous year, last year, we changed the bylaws of our Constitution so that our president, first VP, and second VP, when elected and installed, are installed for 2 years. So if you don't hear me call their names, it's not because I've forgotten them. They're still installed as our president, first vice president, and second vice president, and they can't get out. Also, you'll notice that I'm going to call a few names of people who aren't here right now, and they aren't able to be with us in presence because of health concerns, mainly from COVID or COVID exposure. And if you're feeling up to it at home and able to, when I call your name at home, I'd like you to stand and rise in place so that you're standing spiritually shoulder to shoulder with your fellow officers and board members who are here in person, and we're thinking about you and sending you good thoughts and well wishes for a refuah shlema as fast as possible. When you hear your name, please come on up. For our temple's treasurer, it's my honor to call up Andrea Schoen. As our financial secretary, I call up Laura Leibowitz. For our recording secretary, I call up Amy Warner. And for our secretary at large, Neil Silver. For our incoming trustees, call up Toby Feiner and Brian Goldenfarb and Steve Peskin and Becky Tauber and Leslie Maltby. And for their second term, Judy Burgess and Sarah Kahn. And for our youth board, our 80 officers, it's my honor to call up our co-presidents, Morgan Kovac and Joseph Angelo. Our programming VP, Sarah Brown. Our Social Action Vice President, Julian Senek-Kamen. Our Religious and Cultural VP, Samuel Trechak. Our Communications VP, Miriam Julin. Our Membership VP, Julia Rosenblum. And our 9th grade reps, Jessica Brown and Romy Rock. going to ask everyone to please rise. Centuries ago, Moses received counsel from his father-in-law Jethro, who advised him that the only way to properly lead the Jewish people was through sacred partnership with lay leaders. Moses then appointed elders from the community to help him lead his people. And after installing these elders, God sent Moses up Mount Sinai, where he received the Ten Commandments and the traditions of our people. Moses returned to the Israelites, and since then our people have operated in that sacred partnership, a Brit Kehillah. As your rabbi, I commit myself to our sacred partnership. I commit myself to teaching Torah, to creating a vital and dynamic Jewish life in this temple and community, to guiding you and leading you as best I can. I now ask you for your support and commitment as officers and trustees of Anshe Emeth Memorial Temple. Together with pride and devotion, let us lead and perpetuate the sacred traditions of our people and of our temple.
In your sanctuary, O God, in the presence of this temple, we accept the honor and responsibilities which have been conferred. We promise to serve our temple to the best of our ability, to uphold with dignity and courage the ideals for which it stands, to place the interests of the temple on the highest plane of communal endeavor, and conduct ourselves at all times as to bring glory and honor to our congregation, to Israel, and to you. May the door of this synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for fellowship. May it welcome all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express, hopes to nurture. May the door of this synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity. May its threshold be no stumbling block to young or straying feet. May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness. May this synagogue be, for all who enter, the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life. O God, strengthen us in all our endeavors to fulfill this pledge. Amen.
Holy One of blessing, bestow your blessing on these leaders who have been elected to serve our temple. Instill in them insight and understanding, perseverance as well as patience. Inspire them to work together in pursuit of our community's greatest aspirations, even as they watch over its daily needs. O God, we are thankful for the dedication and the giving spirit that bring these individuals before you, prepared to devote their energies to your service and to benefit of all of us. Grant success to their endeavors and help them to lead us in the pursuit of our sacred mission. I charge you now to remember Israel's past, to cherish its heritage of Torah. I charge you to dream of Israel's future, to bring light into the world and glory to the name of God. I charge you to remember that the present is the narrow bridge that binds our glorious past to the future we seek to build. Amid the daily tasks of leading our temple, amid worries and frustrations that often arise from these responsibilities, I charge you to be mindful of the vital meaning of our temple's life. And now I invoke upon you the ancient blessing of our tradition. I want you guys to get close to me as you feel comfortable amid everything. Never forget how important this place is to so many people. How we care for everybody, not just the people in here right now, not just the people who are the voices you hear the most, but the people on the periphery, the people who need care and comfort and encouragement, the people who need community more than anything else. Always be there lifting up everyone. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yuchanecha. May God's light shine down upon you and be gracious to you. And may may you be gracious with that light to others. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasim lecha shalom. May you, amidst all of the glory that synagogue life brings you, always find peace and care for one another, and peace for the temple family. Can you hear us, son? I now declare you all installed as officers and trustees of Anshe Emet Memorial Temple. Mazel tov.
Mazel tov. Simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov, mazel tov, simen tov, Elanu. Simen tov, mazel tov, simen tov, mazel tov, simen tov, mazel tov, and simen tov, And while they're finding their way back to their seats,
Please be seated.
I have another little message. The time is now. We've gathered round. God's presence is here. Shena, you will dwell among us. We'll make this space a holy place. We gather as one to make a makom kadosh. We come to tell, we come to hear, we come to teach, to learn, we come to grow, and so we say, the time is now. Sing to the one. God's presence is here. Shekhinah, you will dwell among us. We'll make this space a holy place. So separate, so whole. Rejoice every soul who enters.
It is my pleasure now to call up your temple president, Ina Horn, for a few words of Torah as we go down below so we can hear you clearly.
A year ago, I stood on this bema and was installed as the 61st president of Anshe Emet Memorial Temple. It still breaks me up. With the exception of my husband, Jerry, my daughter Marin, and my 3-year-old grandson Benjamin, to bear witness to this honor, the pews in the sanctuary were empty. So it is with great appreciation and delight to see so many friends and congregants here in the sanctuary this evening. Last year, the pandemic kept us apart, and this year we are finally together again. I find myself reflecting on what an extraordinary year this has been. This was the first year of my administration, and I knew to expect many challenges. And though the challenges did exist, the rewards far outweighed them. For many months, we could not gather inside the sanctuary, in this beautiful sanctuary, our synagogue. Yet, through the leadership of Rabbi Baisley, we stayed open to Zoom, open to phone calls, open to emails, notes, Facebook, and the most important kind of open hearts. In partnership with the clergy, staff, and lay leaders, I am proud of all the things we were able to accomplish over the past year. I'm proud of the technology updates that we made in the temple that allow us to continue to maintain and forge new connections. I'm proud that we were able to officially install our cantor, not our new cantor anymore, our cantor, Mark Stanton. Besides lifting us each week at Shabbat service with his beautiful voice, Cantor Stanton has worked to bring back our adult choir, junior choir, and Jew directions to ensure that beautiful sounds and music continue to fill our souls. Speaking of music, we are proud to have hosted several concerts this year, including Michelle Citron, Noam Katz, and just this past week, Nava Tehila. I am proud that we welcomed 2 new rabbinic interns, Sienna Lautenberg and Ezra Leventhal, to our Anshe Emeth family. They offer unique talents and fresh perspectives as they continue to hone their skills and learn from our clergy team. In March, we were thrilled to be able to reinstate Shabbat dinners, expertly prepared by our own team, B'tei Avon, and once again enjoy the Purim Carnival that was so beautifully run by our teens. Both of these events are part of the fabric of Anshe Emeth. I am proud that a dedicated team of congregants led by board member Jay Goldberg continued to make thousands of sandwiches to help Elijah's Promise provide lunches to those experiencing food insecurity. I am proud that we have kept connected with our congregants by updating you on the happenings in the temple through our bulletins, weekly emails, and at our town halls. In addition, through our Taste of the Anshe Emeth series, I am proud that we were able to socialize and interact with each other via Zoom, and tomorrow night in person, while learning about and exploring various culinary delights like cheese and chocolate. I am proud that we did not allow ourselves to slow down, but rather found ways to work around the obstacles presented to us. And as I begin my second term as president, I am proud that our community was able to weather the challenges brought by the pandemic. The efforts of our dedicated clergy, professional and administrative staff, lay leaders, and volunteers to achieve this result deserve recognition and our deep appreciation. One of the greatest benefits of being a temple president is that each week I have the privilege to meet one-on-one with Rabbi Philip Baisley. We discuss temple matters, community issues, and current plans, along with our dreams about the future. While our weekly meetings are part of the job of being president, I have come to treasure these special times that I get to spend with my rabbi. I have learned so much from Rabbi Baisley, and I feel blessed to be able to be partners with him in sacred work. I appreciate his warmth, compassion, and sense of humor, and most especially his friendship. I have no doubt that with Rabbi Baisley, our congregation could not be in better hands, and I look forward to his vision and guidance leading us for many more years to come. It is difficult to find the words to describe how much we rely on the skills of our executive director, Heather Kibble. Heather plays a critical role in supporting the board and clergy to achieve both the spiritual and financial health of Anshe Emeth and his congregants. Until I became an officer on the board, I did not truly realize the all-encompassing role that she has. What I do know is that I can always count on her to have everything I need to do my job, and to do my job right, and that my first year as president could not have run as smoothly without her help. I'm especially grateful for the friendship, support, and guidance of David Levine, our immediate past president. In the midst of his presidency, during March of 2020, Anshe Emeth's on-site activities effectively ceased. But thanks to David, the planning for our future did not miss a beat. His inspiration and encouragement guaranteed a smooth transition for me, and I feel so fortunate to have him as a loyal friend and advisor. I want to wish Mazel Tov to all those who have accepted the important role of becoming a leader at Anshe Emeth. To you, our new trustees, you have been elected because you are capable, passionate, and committed to Anshe Emeth. You have been entrusted with the sacred task of leading this amazing congregation, and I look forward to collaborating with you together as we strive to build a bridge to the future. Tonight, we say goodbye to Joshua Furr and Leah Kravitz as they conclude their terms on the board. I thank each of you for your contributions throughout your tenure, and I look forward to your continued participation on one or more of our committees. Though your voices will no longer be heard at our board meetings, hopefully they will continue to be heard through your musical talents that you share with us at Anshe Emeth. To our new youth group board, you serve as mentors and role models for all the youth in our congregation. You have been tasked with the responsibility to ensure that the youth of our temple continue to flourish. You are our future leaders of the Jewish people, and there could be no better place for you to learn leadership skills than at Anshe Emeth. Thank you, and Mazel Tov as you begin your leadership careers. Thank you to our outgoing 80 board. You have grown as leaders and true role models. You are leaving 80 stronger and more accomplished than ever. We know that the skills you have sharpened in your roles here will carry you successfully through your future endeavors. As I begin my second year as president of Anshe Emeth, looking back, I have come to realize that as much as I have devoted my time to being president, I've gotten so much more than I have given. It's hard to believe that my term will be over in just a year. That means I must work even harder over the coming 12 months to get as much done as possible to leave things in the best possible place for my successor and current first Vice President, Allison Warzala. However, this will not be a difficult task, as one of the things that makes Anshe Emeth strong is that we invest in our leaders. Someone who clearly understands the value of investing in our future leaders is Rabbi Miller. He has passed on a legacy of leadership through programs like the Joshua Project, where participants learn what it is like to be a leader of a religious institution while gaining a deeper understanding of our vision and mission. All of the officers installed tonight are graduates of the Joshua Project, as are most, if not all, of the members of the board. Thank you, Rabbi Miller, for fostering this leadership pipeline as a way of identifying, developing, and recruiting leaders in our temple, all of which result in a highly qualified board of trustees. I work with a team of officers and trustees that are vibrant and highly engaged. Everyone on the board has a voice. Together, they devote their time, treasure, and talent to Anshe Emeth. They are not paid. Rather, they are volunteers. Their compensation comes from the gift of service. It also comes in the form of professional and leadership development that they gain in running a committee, doing fundraising work, and in developing relationships with kindred spirits who share a passion for our temple's work. They are the temple's most visible and credible ambassadors, who invite others to know more, do more, and give more to the temple that they all care so much about. As a board, we never stop trying new ways to be effective. This past year, we re-envisioned the format of our monthly board meetings by adopting the use of a consent agenda. By utilizing this new format, we are now able to streamline the approval of routine agenda items and increase the amount of time we spend on issues of a strategic nature and on issues that could benefit from board discussion. With this one small but important change, the board has been able to identify and focus on substantive issues that we are facing as a congregation while allowing us to delve into these matters each month and generate action items. Our trustees have been working harder and accomplishing more, and with this new meeting design, I expect to do even more with our energized board over the coming year. So let us now show our appreciation for them. Will all the officers and members of the Anshe Emeth Board of Trustees please rise so that we may acknowledge you and thank you for all you do. Thank you. Thank you. As president of our congregation, I have the privilege to walk on a road paved by my predecessors who remained devoted to Anshe Emeth. In fact, many of our past presidents are here tonight. Malcolm Bush, Sidney Brandwine, Phyllis Zeke, Marvin Zexer, and David Levine. I extend a big thank you to all of you and all of our past presidents, as I have learned from them and will continue to seek their guidance and support. As Jews, we serve as a prime example of what Jews have always done: sustain, care for each other, and continue to move forward in the most difficult of times. Anshe Emeth is a true living example. Our ancestors survived hard times, and we too will continue to succeed over the new challenges of today. Our temple community is strong and has wonderfully taken care of each other. After withstanding enforced isolation for many months, we have come to realize how much we value physical human connection. And as we now reconnect with one another, I am hopeful that we will find a sense of joy in interactions that we previously took for granted. I honestly believe that the upcoming year will be a rewarding one for Anshe Emeth, and I look forward to spending it with you. Shabbat Shalom.
The day of my interview was the day before we shut down. And I had the chance to spend a lot of time with Ina and with David, and I think the occasion is right for the song that I ended the evening with, because it's the first time that we've really gathered together, not only as one board, but as many boards together as one. Shehecheyanu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Join me. Shehecheyanu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Shehecheyanu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Shehecheyanu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Shehecheyanu Shecheyanu v'kimanu v'giyanu zmanazeh Shecheyanu v'kimanu v'giyanu zmanazeh Shecheyanu v'kimanu v'giyanu lazman hazeh Shecheyanu v'kimanu v'giyanu zmanazeh Shecheyanu v'kimanu v'giyanu zmanazeh Shecheyanu v'kimanu v'giyanu lazman hazeh Shecheyanu v'kiyamanu v'higiyanu lazman hazeh Shecheyanu v'kiyamanu v'higiyanu lazman hazeh Shecheyanu v'kimanu v'giyanu zmanazeh Shecheyanu v'kimanu v'giyanu zmanazeh Shecheyanu v'kimanu v'giyanu lazman hazeh Shecheyanu v'kimanu v'giyanu zmanazeh Shecheyanu v'kimanu v'giyanu zmanazeh Shecheyanu v'kimanu v'giyanu lazman hazeh Lazman hazeh Lazman hazeh Lazman hazeh Lazman hazeh
You know, I every now and then I have rabbinic colleagues that I call up and chat with, and very frequently do I hear them talking about an endless board meeting that goes on and on and on, where we're approving minutes upon minutes upon minutes. And that's usually when I keep my mouth shut, because I really do look forward to our board meetings. The way they've been streamlined, with the new provisions that Ina spoke about, has really created this pocket for us to have time debating and having serious substantive conversations, and to see the board come alive when we start debating certain initiatives or certain changes. The conversation we had last year about changing the Constitution so that every congregant was a full member, whether or not you were Jewish, was a conversation that was so substantive and meaningful. To all of our officers and board members and future board members who are out there, I want to tell you how appreciative I am that we have created a sacred space for debate, where we know that no one has a monopoly on the right way forward, and that through coming together in sacred partnership, we can build something fantastic. And as I look out at the landscape of New Jersey congregations, Congregations America, to see that we are going strong, that we are looking at a positive growth of congregants, but not just a positive growth of congregants, a growth of people feeling connected to their synagogue, to feeling that kinship, to seeing the financial stability that we have. We have this because we are engaged in substantive debate, visioning for the future. And I can't thank you enough for it. Ina, it starts with you, so thank you. It's wonderful to have Cantor Ott with us tonight, our Cantor Emerita. I was talking with Rabbi Miller earlier, our Rabbi Emeritus. He sends his regards. He wishes he could be here. He's recovering from some hip surgery, and we add his name to those on our Mishaberach list for a speedy recovery. It is wonderful to have both you, Rabbi Miller, and you, Cantor Ott, cheering us on and still part of the lifeblood of our congregation, because we are here because of those who came before, and it's wonderful to have you and Rabbi Miller still be a part of our congregation, and it means the world to all of us. I also want to thank the families of our officers and board members, not just because they're giving them, their spouses away for those meetings once or twice or 3 times a month, but very frequently do you end up the chair people of the congregational tastings, the blood drives, the raffles and auctions. And we know that even though we were installing individuals, oftentimes we were installing families. Because here at Anshe Emeth, we're all about family and inclusion. So thank you to everybody, not just our officers, not just our board of trustees, but anybody who offers and volunteers their time to the temple, because it's not about the one event, the tasting, or the one event, the blood drive, or the congregational breakfast. It's about what we're building. It's about how we touch lives and how we connect and how we relate to one another. And it's wonderful to have people want to be a part of that. So thank you to everyone. So a few quick announcements. May is one of those months with lots of things happening on Friday nights. This coming Friday is our Education Shabbat, as we honor our teachers and all of the learning that we've done in the last year, led by Matt Vogel, our Director of Education. We're going to thank our teachers, our madrachim, and also congratulate our second graders and our sixth graders as they move up to very special years next year. And then, of course, graduation Shabbat is May 27th, as we celebrate our high school seniors graduating from our religious school and going off to various endeavors throughout the world. At the conclusion of our service, we're going to join together in Littman Hall for Kiddush and Motzi. You're more than welcome to come in and join us for an oneg to stay if you have proof of vaccination. If you don't, please join us for blessings, and then we have the oneg to go bags for you. We're Jews, we feed people no matter what. And it's wonderful, again, as Ina said, to be with all of you in person. Because I can't tell you how the last couple of years of an empty congregation has felt, and how I hope this is the beginning of all of us coming back together more and more routinely. But don't worry if you're watching us online. We know how important and meaningful those online connections are, and none of that will fade as well. We're just going to keep on growing. On this Shabbat Eve, as we join together as one congregation to celebrate creation and the joy of life and living, we turn our thoughts to those in our community for whom life has become precarious because of health or hospitalization. O God of healing, in our hearts we name those who are facing illness and pain. We join our prayers together with the prayers of those who love them. Give them renewed comfort and courage. Strengthen in them the healing powers you place within us all, and guide the hands and hearts of those who are entrusted with their care. May the knowledge of your love and ours give added hope to them and their families. May they find even greater strength because our prayers are linked to theirs. Mishaberach avotenu v'imotenu hu yivarechet hacholim, refuat nefesh u'refuat haguf, hashta'a b'ga'alav uzman kariv v'nomar. Amen. May the one who blessed our ancestors bless those in need of healing. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit, as together we say, Amen. We continue on page 282 as we rise in body or spirit for Elenu.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Page 287. May we gain wisdom in our lives, overflowing like a river with understanding. Loved, each of us, for the peace we bring to others. May our deeds exceed our speech, and may we never lift up our hand but to conquer fear and doubt and despair. Rise up like the sun, O God, over all humanity. Cause light to go forth over all the lands between the seas, and light up the universe with the joy of wholeness, of freedom, and of peace.
ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד ושמו אחד ושמו אחד.
Yesh kokavim shoaram magia artsa. There are stars up above, so far away we only see their light long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest nights, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. With hearts that ache and are saddened, we name now those for whom death has recently taken from us, those whose families are observing the Shloshim. We remember Stephen Boda, husband of Ruth and father of Ali and Carly. We remember Harold Hirschman, husband of Edna May, father of Michelle and Russell, Elliot and Jerry, Ken and Susan, grandfather of Seth and Ann, Jacob and Opal, Wendy and Devin, Nathan and Rachel, Matt, Scott and Annie, and great-grandfather to Raphael, Lev and Gary, and brother of Spencer and Joan Ruth, and Ellis of blessed memory and Betty of blessed memory. And we remember Marvin Fisher, husband of Ruth of blessed memory, father of Kathy and Michael and Cheryl and Wendy, grandfather of Brian and Julie and Jordan, Jessica and Sarah and Lexi, and great-grandfather to Mason and Fiona and Lily, and brother of Joan and Larry of blessed memory. On this Shabbat, we also recall those dear ones who died at this season in years past, and whose names we record with love in our service booklet this evening. Their names are forever bound to our hearts and are permanently inscribed throughout our building. And if you're joining us tonight online to say Kaddish for a loved one, I want to encourage you to say their names aloud at home or to type their names into the chat on our YouTube, Facebook, or temple streaming site so we may lift up the names of your loved ones together with you. And if you are in the temple in person to say Kaddish for a loved one, I want to ask you to say their names as I look around the sanctuary. Zikronam Livracha. May all their names and memories only be for a blessing. I invite all the mourners, if able, to rise for Kaddish Yatom, Mourner's Kaddish on page 294. Yitgadal, V'Kadash, Shemei Rabbah, V'Alma Divrach Rotei, V'Amlich Malchutei, V'Chaye Chon V'Yom Echon, V'Chaye Dekol Beit Yisrael, V'Agalav Izman Kariv V'Imru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabba Mevorach Leolam Olamei Almaya, Yitbarach V'Ishtabach V'Itpa'ar V'Tromam V'Itnaseh, V'Itadar V'Italeh V'Italal Shemei Dekudeshah V'Richu, Leila Min Ko Birchata V'Shirata, Tush B'Chata V'Nechemata, Damiran V'Alma V'Imru Amen. Yehei Shalama Rabba Min Shemaya, V'Chaim Aleinu V'Al Ko Yisrael, V'Imru Amen. Osei Shalom B'Romav, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu V'Al Ko Yisrael, V'Imru Amen. May the source of peace bestow peace to all who mourn, and may we be a source of comfort to all who are bereaved, as we say, Amen.
We close our service this evening with the singing of Adon Olam found on page 321 as we rise. Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem kol Yitzir Nivra, Le'et Nasa, B'chefzo kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra, Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem kol Yitzir Nivra, Le'et Nasa, B'chefzo kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra,
oz le'amo iten, Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom. Adonai will give strength to our people. Adonai will bless our people and all people everywhere with peace. Amen and Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. All right, guys, thank you so much. Thank you.